Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I am Adam McCullough. This is tomorrow's transfers today. We are live. I hope we're live now. I thought I was live just a minute ago and we obviously wasn't, but now we are live. We've got lots to talk about today in what is the 40th tomorrow's transfers today of the summer, which means we've been going for 8 weeks now. We obviously have it Monday to Friday at 11 p.m. UK time, and on the menu today we have got Matteo Darmian, Ante Rebic, Harry Maguire, Leo Bonucci, and of course Ivan Perišić as well. We have got loads to talk about today. Let me tell you again, Darmian, Rebic, Maguire, Bonucci and Perišić. Not a bad little bit of chat lined up, and I've even got to cover Steve's arse as well because he missed one of the stories out yesterday, so I'll be adding that in at the end too. Guys, we're going to get started, and this time we're going to get started with Matteo Darmian. For now though, I can see your comments in there. I can see Raphael's comments, Stop the Trolley, 44 Midnight, Amsa wants to see producer Chris on the channel. Maybe one day. I think we've got to get 1 million subs first. But anyway, let's get stuck into this Matteo Darmian chat. We've seen the images this week from Manchester United's training. So we've returned to training. We've got the squad back. Obviously, those that weren't involved in the World Cup. And Matteo Darmian wasn't involved in the World Cup as Italy didn't make it. And we've got Italian reports from Gazzetta dello Sport, which are saying Inter Milan are still looking in at the possibility of a loan move with a view to buy Matteo Darmian from Manchester United, and it's a move which could see United recoup all of the fee and maybe a little bit of profit on top of what we spent on him as well, which was around 15 to 17 million if I remember correctly. What the issue was initially was that these guys wanted to take him on a loan with a view to buy in a season's time, but then his contract would have been up. But these guys are looking at the possibility that Manchester United could trigger the extension clause we have in Matteo Darmian's contract, which would enable this deal to go ahead as a loan move with a view to buy next summer. I think it would be a move that suits all parties concerned. Matteo Darmian, who joined the club I think 3 years ago, it hasn't really settled. It hasn't really gone to plan for him. If he can get a move back to Italy with one of the top clubs, obviously Juventus were looking at him, but then they went for Cancelo. If they could get him to Inter Milan, he can get a move to Inter Milan to Serie A, put himself in the spotlight in Italy again. I think it's a good move for him, and if United can get the money back, even better move. So I don't see this as a move that's impossible. I think it's one that could happen, and I totally wouldn't mind it happening, to be honest with you. I think United need to move on and move forward. If Darmian was a part of the squad, I don't think I'd be totally against that, but I'm not totally against him leaving either, and I do think there could be some truth in this, as we've heard a lot of rumours surrounding Matteo Darmian back to Italy, even Daley Blind back to Ajax as well. They've been players that have been on the periphery at United. They haven't got enough minutes, and at this stage in their careers, they're going to be looking for game time. So I'd expect Matteo Darmian could be on the move, and it looks like Inter Milan could be his destination with a loan with a view to buy. Interesting stuff coming out of Italy. You guys haven't been commenting much on Matteo Darmian while I've been speaking. Someone just randomly shouted out Xherdan Shaqiri. We spoke about him in the past on tomorrow's transfers today. We won't be speaking about him again because he has signed for Liverpool, so he's obviously off the market now and he's not going to be popping up in any transfer talk. I did tell you it was unlikely that it was going to happen to Manchester United, didn't I? I said it wasn't going to happen, and maybe the talk was because we had signed Lee Grant and we were in talks with Stoke for him. Anyway, moving on from that, and to Ante Rebic, Calcio Mercato have picked up on some talk from AS, so it's coming out of Spain, and they're saying Manchester United, Arsenal and Bayern Munich are interested in Ante Rebic, and a potential €50 million offer is being prepared for the Eintracht Frankfurt player. Now, 24 years old, decent player, can still improve, but do I want him? Not particularly, no. But I do think we're going to see a lot of these kind of headlines surrounding players that you're going to see with this England squad now as they head back to England and they return obviously after the third place playoff. We're going to see those players linked with moves left, right and centre. And we're going to see it with the Croatia team as well. Obviously we're speaking about another one here today. later on in the show. So, yeah, I don't think this one's a possibility, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the move. Can Eintracht Frankfurt keep him? Imagine they win the World Cup. Regardless of what happens, he's going to have played in a World Cup final. His stock's going to have risen. Has he impressed me enough to make me think I want him at Manchester United, though? In honesty, no. I think he's shown to be a decent player. But, no. Not someone I'd want at Man United, particularly. Anyway, moving on from that. And again, like I just said, England team, all their players that aren't at the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea and United, they're going to be linked with moves. Harry Maguire is one of those. And the Telegraph have linked him with Manchester United. We heard the Daily Mail, I believe it was, and Manchester Evening News and all them talking about a potential £50 million bid from Manchester United. And the Telegraph are reporting that Leicester are to offer him a new contract. So they're trying to get him tied to a new contract. Apparently they can raise his wages to 80k. 80k is chump change at Old Trafford, isn't it? Even like the likes of Ashley Young and all that are on more than 80k. We could give Maguire more than that. But apparently they're trying to raise his wages at Leicester. I'm sure they know teams are going to be interested, especially after the World Cup. They bought him for £17 million last summer. £17 million, and they could triple that this summer if they were to sell him. Would I take Harry Maguire at Manchester United? Yes, I would. He looks like a highly talented centre-half. He looked like that when Hull played against Manchester United a few times as well. And he's looked very, very good for Leicester City. £17 million bargain for them. And I'd take him at Old Trafford, definitely. Get rid of Smalling or someone like that and bring in Harry Maguire. That'd strengthen our backline for sure. John D, thank you for your comment. Jesse says, who's Rebic? I guess you haven't been watching the World Cup. You definitely don't watch the Bundesliga. But have you been watching the World Cup? He's been all over the place, getting booked a few times as well. Surely you've seen him. Bullet360 says United should go for Bonucci now. Bonucci has been linked with Manchester United. And it's interesting, it comes from Italy. I've lost the source now, but I have got the story right in front of me. I just forgot to write the source down. I'll tell you the story, I'll get the source up as I speak. So, Bonucci, apparently his agent is having a meeting with AC Milan. His agent's name is Alessandro Lucci. And apparently this is in Calcio Mercato, by the way. So, Calcio Mercato bringing us the last Rebic story and this story as well. And they say Alessandro Lucci is having a meeting with AC Milan to discuss the future of his clients Bonucci, Suso and Bertolacci. United have been mentioned in that. We've been linked with Bonucci before. His name's not Antonio. Where did Antonio come from? Anyway, we've been linked with him before. And I don't think it's one that's going to happen. I can't see this guy moving out of Serie A, to be totally honest with you. I just can't see it happening. But Leo Bonucci, he's been linked with Chelsea, he's been linked with PSG, he's been linked with a move away from AC Milan. We obviously know AC Milan, they can't play in European competition anymore this season. They've been suspended, so maybe Bonucci's going to be on the lookout for a move. Will that be to Manchester United? Probably not. I am not getting serious about this one, to be totally honest with you. And I'm taking that with a pinch of salt. Who's Antonio Bonucci? His name is Leonardo Bonucci, guys. Shoot Neutrality even forgot his name. Casual Gamer says Maguire would be a great signing. Who the hell is Antonio Bonucci? Lindelof had a great World Cup. He should have a great season, says more. I agree with you there as well. And I hope he comes back into the team at United and does well as well. Anyway, now we move on to a man that we spoke about a lot last summer. The man's name's Perišić, Ivan Perišić, and apparently United are in advanced negotiations for him. And we've even brought in Pini Zahavi to try and make the deal a little bit quicker. Paris United have made an account called Euro United, who have now been talking about this advanced negotiations. You remember we've spoken about Paris United before. Don't think they've got anything right. Doesn't mean Euro United's probably not going to get anything right, but it's likely. Perišić to United, could it be back on? To be honest, watching Perišić, I think Perišić is a decent player and I wouldn't mind him at United. But when you think about it and you think about the money we'd have to spend on him, it's going to be a huge whack, especially when you think of the Croatian thing now. When you think of that, and it's going to add money onto his transfer. But has Perišić shown enough consistency? Has he shown? I know he scored against England and all that, but has he shown enough to say, Man United, come and sign me? In the last season in Serie A, I don't think he has. I don't think he has at all. That's just me. I used to as Perišić instead of Martial. No way. That's exactly what he said, by the way. Obviously, it sounds like something I would say. No more attacking players. We've got enough of them, says Victor. I could imagine a right winger, maybe a squad player that can play right winger just to balance things out. I am wearing a Germany jersey just because I like it. Not for any other reason. I'm not German. I don't support Germany. I just like it. It's a nice top. I've got the Nigeria one as well. Any news on SMS? There is no news on SMS, guys. And before we wrap up, I've got to give you something about Gareth Bale that Steve Allison forgot to talk about yesterday. The Manchester Evening newspaper are in advanced talks with Gareth Bale, but it's up to Gareth Bale to decide. And Lopetegui, I still haven't found out how to say his name. Lopetegui, the new Real Madrid manager, the ex-Spain manager, to convince Bale to stay at Real Madrid. That is one I don't think is going to happen, so I'm not going to pay that story too much mind. But today we've spoken about Darmian, Rebic, Maguire, Bonucci, Perišić, Gareth Bale. We've spoken about a lot of stuff today, guys. Get your comments in on everything that you've thought of. Is Gareth Bale on the way to Manchester United, like MEN said, and like producer Chris wants you guys to know? This is the bit House missed yesterday. Is he on the way? I'm not too sure. I don't think it's happening. I think we're going to get a left back, maybe Alexandro. They're going to need to bring in some more money from that Ronaldo's transfer. What else? I wanted another central midfielder, but now Fellaini signed a new contract, probably not going to happen. I wouldn't consider Fellaini a central midfielder, but probably not going to sign one. We need a centre half, that's for sure. Get a left back and a centre half. We've got Diogo Dalot at right back. We've got a backup goalkeeper. We've got Fred in midfield. Maybe a right winger. If someone leaves, we'll need to replace them. But I don't think we really need to sign, like, you know, people talking about big name strikers and this, that and the other, and Gareth Bale's and all that. I don't think Gareth Bale's leaving Real Madrid, nor there's a few of you guys in the comments. You start saying the same thing. Adam T saying really bad window for us. It's not even finished yet, but yeah, alright. I try not to get involved in the hysteria of transfer windows and panicking. I'll panic when the season starts or when we get closer to the season. We still haven't had pre-season start yet, and pre-season starts next week. At the moment, I don't think we're going out there, but hopefully we'll get out there for the last couple of games or something like that. And who knows, we might surprise you and make it out for the first game. But keep it locked to full-time devils. We'll be covering all of that anyway. And we'll be covering when the squad is announced, so keep it locked for that too. Also, has been uploaded today, this week at Manchester United with that boy Gaz. So go and check that out. Am I a Nadal fan? I am a Nadal fan, but I'm obviously more of a Manchester United fan and more of a full-time Devils fan because I jumped on this live stream to chat to you guys about tomorrow's transfers today. You get me? Instead of watching the match that was on. So anyway, guys, this has been tomorrow's transfers today, number 40. We have been talking Darmian, Rebic, Maguire, Bonucci, Perišić, and Gareth Bale. Producer Chris has put the link in for this week at Manchester United in the comments, so make sure you go and watch that. And for now, guys, I have been Adam McCullough. I'm out of here.